Hi everyone, welcome to the classes of engineering mechanics. Today we will be starting a new topic called the motion of rotation. Rotation can be defined as a motion of a particle with respect to an axis. Here in this figure you can see a motor. At the center you can see a shaft. The motion of the shaft will be called as a rotation. The shaft will be moving around its central axis. Whatever particle is there in the shaft, it will be moving around the central axis. So we will be going in detail with the motion of rotation. We can compare the motion of rotation with the linear motion. We will be using some terms which is similar to the linear motion, and we will go through that. First one is called the angular velocity. In linear motion, we will be dealing with the initial velocity u and final velocity v. Instead of that, in rotational motion, we will be dealing with the omega. So we will be dealing with the initial velocity omega and the final velocity omega. It will be denoted as omega naught and omega. It will be the its unit will be radians per second. Okay. And second term will be dealing with the angular acceleration, and we will be representing it by alpha, which is same as our a in linear motion, acceleration in linear motion, and its unit is radians per second square. The third term will be dealing with the angular displacement. It is denoted by theta, which is similar to our s, distance covered or displacement in our linear motion, which is given by velocity into time if it is having a uniform acceleration. And we will be dealing with sometimes omega or naught is the initial velocity, omega is the final velocity, t is the time for movement, and alpha is the acceleration, theta is the displacement. We will have three initial equations for our linear motion. V is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, and v square minus u square is equal to 2as. We will be using the same equation in terms of rotational elements. First one will be using v is equal to u plus at. Instead of we will be using omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. That is, final velocity is given by, final angular velocity is given by initial angular velocity plus acceleration, angular acceleration into time. Second time, s is equal to ut plus half at square. And for that we will be using theta is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square. And the third equation is v square minus u square is equal to 2as, or here we will be writing omega square equal, or omega square minus omega naught square equal to 2 alpha theta. Okay, here is our third equation. So we will be using the same equation as linear motion, but in terms of angular motion terms, alpha, omega and theta. Okay, so here is a comparison between the linear motion and angular motion. Initial velocity is denoted by u in linear motion, omega naught in angular motion, final velocity v, omega, constant acceleration a, alpha, distance traveled s, theta. Formulas for initial velocity v is equal to u plus at, omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. Formulas for distance traveled, s is equal to ut plus half at square, theta is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square. Formula for final velocity, v square is equal to u square plus 2as, omega square is equal to omega naught square plus 2 alpha theta. And differential form of displacement will give us the velocity, differential form of angular displacement. It is a rotating about an axis. We will be denoting the displacement by theta. So d theta by dt. And differential form of velocity will give us the acceleration. Differential form of omega will give us the alpha. So we will go to our initial problems. A flywheel starts from rest and revolves with an acceleration 0.5 radians per second square. So they have given the value of alpha as 0.5 radians per second square. So remember the unit is radians per second square. What will be the angular velocity and angular displacement after 10 seconds? So it is starting from rest. That means omega naught, initial velocity is 0. They have asked to find out the angular velocity and angular displacement. We have to calculate the value of omega and theta. So we will be using the equation v is equal to u plus at, or omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t. We have substituting the value of omega naught as 0 as the starting from rest, and alpha is given as 0.5 and time is 10 seconds. So our answer will be 0.5 radians per second. And second thing, we have to calculate the displacement. S is equal to ut plus half a t square, or theta is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square. Omega naught is equal to 0. We will be substituting half into alpha 0.5, t is equal to 10 seconds. We will be getting the displacement as 25 radians. So just remember the units. Displacement as radian, velocity as radians per second, and acceleration as radians per second square. We'll go to our next problem. A wheel increases its speed from 45 rpm. Here they have given the velocity in rotation per minute. How to convert the rotation into radians? And increases speed from 45 to 90 rpm in 30 seconds. So initial velocity is 45 rpm omega naught, final velocity is 90 rpm omega, and time is 30 seconds. How to convert one rotation into radians? One rotation means we will be completing 360 degree, or we can write one rotation is equal to pi plus pi. Pi equal to 180 degree and one rotation equal to 360 degree, or we can write one rotation is equal to 2 pi. Okay, so 45 rotation means 45 into 2 pi is the distance traveled per minute. So 45 into 2 pi is the distance traveled per minute. We will get writing the equation in terms of seconds. To convert per minute to per second, we will be dividing it by 60. So 45 rpm can be written as 1.5 pi radians per second. So obtained by 45 into 2 pi for converting it into radian, and to converting it into second, we will be dividing it by 60. So total 2 into 45, 90 divided by 60, that is equal to 1.5 pi is the radians per second. In the same way, we will be converting the 90 rpm into radians per second. To convert into radians, we will be multiplying by 2 by, and to convert to per second, we will be dividing by 60. So again 90 into 2 pi, that is 180 pi divided by 60, that is equal to 3 pi radians per second. So this is our initial velocity and final velocity. And the time taken is 30 seconds to convert from initial velocity 1.5 radians per second to final velocity 3 radians per second. So we can write v is equal to u plus at, and from that we can find the value of acceleration. That is the first thing we have to find what is the angular acceleration of the wheel. Okay. Second thing, number of revolution made by this wheel in 30 seconds. That is the value of theta they have calculated. And we have to write in terms of rotation. Normally we will be obtaining the value of theta in radians. So here in the initially we have converted rpm into radians. At the end we will be converting radians into rpm. First we will calculate the value of acceleration. So acceleration and v is equal to u plus at. So v is 3 pi radian and u is equal to 1.5 pi radian, and alpha unknown, t is 30 seconds. So we got the value of alpha as 0.05 pi radians per second square. It's the value of alpha. Next thing we will be calculating theta. S is equal to ut plus half a t square, or theta is equal to omega naught t plus half alpha t square. Okay. So omega naught is 1.5 pi and t is equal to 30 seconds. Alpha is 0.05 pi, again 30 square. So we will get the value of 67.5 pi is the value of theta in radians. To convert it into revolution, we will be dividing by 2 pi. That is 33.75 revolution. Initially we have converted revolution to radian by multiplying by 2 pi. Here we have converted radian to revolution by dividing by 2 pi. Here we have divided by 60 to convert from rotation per minute to rotation per second. Here no such conversions are there, so no need to bother about 60 and all. Okay. So to convert rotation to radian, multiply by 2 pi. To convert radian to rotation, divided by 2 pi. So our answer is obtained. We'll go to the next problem. A flywheel is making 180 rpm and after 20 seconds it's running at 120 rpm. So initial velocity 180 rpm, final velocity 120 rpm. How many revolutions will it make and what time will it elapse before it stops? So from the question itself we can see that initially it is 180 rpm and now it is 120 rpm. Its speed is reduced. So gradually it will be decreasing and at some point it will stop. So we are asked to find out how many revolutions will it make before it stops and what is the and find its how many revolutions and time. We have to find out the time for to stop. So we'll write the initial velocity as 180 rpm and we will be converting it into radians by multiplying by 2 pi and dividing by seconds. We will be get the value as 6 pi radians per second. And second one 120 multiply by 2 pi divided by 60, 4 pi radians per second. Okay. And the time taken is 20 seconds. So we can write v is equal to u plus at. Initial velocity is 180, final velocity is 120 and the acceleration will be always negative because final velocity is less than the initial velocity. The value of acceleration is minus 0.1 pi radians per second square. So we got the acceleration. We are asked to find out the time, that is v is equal to u plus at. We can find the time by substituting the value of final velocity as 0. We can find the time and we have to calculate the s is equal to ut plus half at square. We can find the value of s also. Here they have used another equation, v square minus u square equal to 2as. So final velocity is 0, initial velocity we have known to us, alpha is known and we can find the value of theta by using the equation v square minus u square equal to 2as. So we get the value of theta as 180 pi. To convert into revolution, we will be dividing it by 2 pi. We will obtain the value of theta as 90 revolution. 90 revolution it will make before it stops. And next thing we have to calculate the time taken. That is v is equal to u plus at. Initial velocity is 6 pi and final velocity is 0. Alpha is known 0.1. So we can calculate the time as 60 seconds, or we can write in terms of minutes 1 minute. This is the initial basic problems of rotation. We will be just using the linear motion equation and find out the final answer. So I will be giving 2 questions as your homework. So you have to complete this by next day and you have to submit. Okay, thank you. We will be discussing more problems in the coming classes.